And breathe. It's over. The game has finished. My God, that was so stressful. It's never easy for Arsenal, is it? It's never easy. We always like to make it hard for ourselves, don't we? Honestly, it's crazy. I was going to record a prediction. You know, I've been doing predictions quite a lot in the beginning of these match reviews, and today I ran out of time, so I wasn't able to do it. But I was going to say that tonight should be a comfortable game. We won't get beaten. We'll just do our thing. We'll be professional. We'll get the job done, and we'll go through comfortably. But I don't know why I do this to myself. Why do I set myself up to feel like this after watching? It was never going to be easy, was it? Going to Russia is never an easy task. Ask any team that's gone overseas to Russia to play against a team with a really hostile crowd, a difficult stadium. The weather wasn't brilliant. It was late, local time as well. Who knows how players deal with that? You know, it's probably really tiring, and it's never easy. And you shouldn't sit there as a fan saying, "Oh, that should be an easy win." You see countless big teams go to Russia to play Russian teams and come away with bad results. So although the score 2-2 was fine for us, obviously we go through. It doesn't matter in the end if we lost today as long as we go through. But it completely, it doesn't reflect what happened. It's the complete opposite. We were terrible tonight. So let's get the negatives out of the way first, and then the end of the video will be positives. So we were poor tonight. We should have easily lost this game. There was plenty of chances that had they put them away, we would have been out of sight. Well, they would have been out of sight, I mean. We would have been potentially knocked out after leading the tie so much. And we've seen some pretty big upsets this week, and I was really hoping that wasn't going to be happening to us tonight, but it very almost did. At 2-0, I was furious. You know, almost thinking we're going to throw this away. Our last chance to get back in the Champions League, which could be our last chance in a long time. We might not ever get top 4 in the next 5 years. You just don't know. We might never get this far in the Europa League again. You just don't know. So you take it as it comes. You make the most of the opportunity, and it felt like we were really throwing it away tonight. It was just a very poor performance, except from 2 players, who I will talk about later on in this video. The 2 players that you can see on the thumbnail. I thought defensively we were all over the place once again. What has happened to Koscielny? Where's the Koscielny of a year or 2 ago? I know he's getting older, but if you look around Europe, or just world football in general, looking at some of the best defenders in the world, they are 30, 31. I mean, look at Chiellini, Barzagli. Okay, there's no real excuse other than Koscielny clearly does have an injury that's been bothering him for years now. We've heard about this on and off, that, you know, Koscielny plays through pain, that he's on medication to basically stop him feeling that pain all the time. It's just not an injury that's going away. So whether that's true or not, it shouldn't be affecting us as a team this much. We shouldn't be playing him if it's affecting his game that much. If it's risking our results, then he shouldn't be playing. You know, we've got a perfectly good replacement in him for now in Chambers. I think he can do a good job for us. Monreal can play left centre-back if Kolasinac goes left-back. I just feel like Koscielny's being forced into the team just because he is the captain, because he has been our best defender over the last 5-6 years. It doesn't feel right. Something's not right there. Mustafi was okay tonight. I thought Bellerin was okay. But in general, defensively, we just weren't quite awake, it felt like, today. The midfield was marginally better. One player stood out for me, and that is, of course, El Neni, who I'm going to talk about later on in this video. And then going forward, we just lacked any finesse. Just not a good performance overall. You know, if I was to give Arsenal a rating out of 10 tonight, it would be a 3 or a 4 out of 10. It really was a poor performance. But ultimately, as I would have said in my prediction, it was a result that we just needed, and we got it. We just needed to get through, and we've managed to do that. So, you know, if we move on to the positives now, that is the major positive. We're through to our first European semi-final in so long. Okay, it's a great feeling. We're through. I know it's the Europa League, but do you know what? Many people watching this aren't going to be Arsenal fans. I know a lot of you are, But a lot of people will be saying, why is he so happy about being in the semi-finals of the Europa League? But this is coming from a fan that's been so disappointed with this club for so long. The countless years that we've been in the Champions League, 19 years in a row or whatever it was, and getting to the final once. It's not very. It's not really that fun, to be fair, getting knocked out by Bayern every year in the quarterfinals, the round of 16, the group stage, whatever it may have been. Okay, so getting to the semi-finals is quite nice. Okay, so I fully expect us to go on and win this tournament. I know there's still Atletico Madrid. I think Lazio have been knocked out. I think Salzburg have managed to beat them. I think RB Leipzig have been knocked out as well. So, the favourites will be Atletico Madrid. There's no doubt about it. But I expect us to win. I really do. We should be putting all of our efforts into the Europa League, because if we win, we're into the Champions League. That's all that I want from this season now. This has been an utter failure for a season, and that is the only way we can end it well. Win the Europa League, wave goodbye to Wenger, start from scratch next year with a new manager, new players, new staff, and a fresh run in the Champions League, which is where we should be. Let's talk about two standout performers today, because I want to give a massive shout out to El Neni, who for me was man of the match by quite some distance. I think he's gone very under the radar of recent. He's one of those. He's an engine player. He's always running. He's very good at what he does, and goes unnoticed because he's not very flashy. I feel like he's not that type of player that's going to wow you with incredible passes and flicks, and he doesn't get many goals. He gets a couple of assists every now and again, but not really known for it. He's just a hard-working central midfielder that just does a job, and I think that does go unnoticed a lot in not just Premier League teams, but all around the world. A lot of these players that don't get all the headlines because they're not flashy, they're not exciting to watch, but they do a great job for their team. They're consistent. El Neni is that type of player. I do think that sometimes he needs a bit more of a creative player next to him, like Ramsey, like Wilshere, and that's what we had tonight. It worked. Whereas if you partner him with another defensive player like Cska or Coquelin in the past, it doesn't work. It doesn't give him any reason to sit back and do his thing. So if he plays, I think you have to put someone creative next to him, i.e. Ramsey or Wilshere. I don't think the Cska El Neni thing works. They're very similar. But he was brilliant tonight. Absolutely fantastic. The pass to put Welbeck through. I mean, if Mesut Ozil did that, we'd be seeing gifs of that for weeks. It'd be one of his best. Those montages of Arsenal players online, and you just see their best assists. That would be up there for Mesut Ozil. It was a beautiful pass, and then at the end there for Ramsey's goal as well. Brilliant pass. So he was on another level tonight. Really, really good. I know you could say he's against Cska. It's not exactly a top European side, but doesn't matter. Brilliant passing, and was definitely my man of the match. I don't know if he actually won man of the match, but I'm hoping he got some credit. He was really, really good. The other player I want to talk about is Welbeck. And I feel like, maybe a lot of us Arsenal fans, and football fans in general, are quite harsh on the guy. He does do some very silly things. His finishing is questionable sometimes. It seems like he's a bit bipolar as well. I've used that term quite a lot. You get these bipolar football players where one day they are this way and one day they're that way. Welbeck was this way today. This is the incredible side of Welbeck, and this is the Bambi side, the type of player that you see receive the ball and you think, is he actually in control of his legs? Is he able to actually do anything with the ball? What does he offer? And then you see him, Galatasaray a few years ago, getting his hat-trick. Tonight he was brilliant. Okay, he was I almost said like Thierry Henry, just that type of powerhouse up front, an outlet. He was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And I would hate to play against a Danny Welbeck in form because he's so strong, he's so quick, and that finish, that was Henry-esque. It was. I don't care what people say. Of course, he's nowhere near as good as Thierry Henry ever was and never will be as good as him. But that was Thierry Henry-esque, okay? The bit of skill on the side, cutting inside, a little 1-2 with El Neni. I've already mentioned that pass through. And the finish, I mean, if you haven't seen it, please do. Because if you give Welbeck a lot of stick, which I still think is I think he deserves it because he has been poor throughout his career. There's moments where you just think how he's even been scouted and made into a pro footballer. But then there's moments like tonight where you think, actually, yeah, do you know what? He's got something, isn't he? And he has been very good for England, in fairness. We keep forgetting about that. And playing for your country at a top level, not everyone can do that. So, you know, he's gone through the Manchester United Academy for a reason, hasn't he? He's been picked up by Sir Alex and played in that first team. You know, he said in an interview that he used to sit between Ryan Giggs and Cristiano Ronaldo. And when you think of it that way, in the Manchester United dressing room, he's there for a reason, all right? He's got the big move to Arsenal that he needed, I think. And, okay, he hasn't been incredible. He hasn't set the world on fire since joining, but there has been moments of brilliance from Danny Welbeck. And I hope that we see more of that from him and not the usual Danny Welbeck where he misses these easy one-on-ones, where he can't do the simple things right. So, in general, very pleased because it's done. We're through to the semis. Personally, you know, like I've said, I'm expecting us to win this competition now. And I don't care who we get because regardless, we're going to have to beat a very good team. I think, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if we see Atletico in the next round. It just seems like that's what's going to happen. And you know what? If we get them, that's absolutely fine because I think we will play against them regardless. Whether it's the semis or it's the final, they will be there. And we have to beat the best to be the best in the Europa League. We can do it though. And imagine if we do win that competition and we let Wenger go at the end of the season. I don't think it's going to happen. He probably will stay for another year, which is absolutely shocking from the club if that happens after this year. This doesn't change anything for me. Doing well in this competition is a goodbye. It's a good ending to a long era that needs to come to an end. It's not a way of him proving to us and the club that he should be the man in charge next year. That's just how I think anyway. So thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you have enjoyed it, leave a like and make sure you subscribe as well, and make sure you click on that bell icon because my videos don't always get sent to sub boxes, so just make sure you never miss a video if you enjoy them. But thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.